No problem,
No,
anytime.
I'm pretty
Okay,
sloppy.
stream's
That's
going
all.
live now.
Is that better or
Yeah, it's better. A little bit louder though.
okay?
God, I
How do you
love
do
some of
mod
these
things on
Reddit.
Twitch?
What?
How do you mod on Twitch?
The little buttons next to the messages. It's you can like delete it or time people out.
I don't see that.
It should show up anytime soon.
It's there for me
All right.
It'll come up like
because I'm
15
logged in
minutes
as the
from now or
COD Competitive
something.
podcast account. Okay. I need to close this window actually, so my bandwidth isn't ridiculous.
Oh, I thought you meant like a window like outside. I was like, what the fuck?
Okay.
Who goes outside, man?
It's like you're closing your windows and reducing airflow into your room increases your bandwidth.
Shut up.
Oh, look at this.
Okay.
What
so
that really good thread about
we're live on the
MLG.TV
stream
payments
now.
go out. What are we?
Yeah.
We live? Oh, that's fine.
Everybody got to hear you make fun of me on stream.
Oh, that's cool. I still love you though.
Alright, so our COD Competitive podcast.
CJ, you're a little quiet.
Yeah, it's because I was talking quietly.
Okay.
Am I
Just
still
making
quiet
sure.
now?
No, you sound good now.
Okay. Well, interesting not having video for one of these, because everyone I've ever done has video, but my internet is booty, so do it audio, and hopefully I can fix it once I move again. But,
Fix it
okay.
now.
Okay, let me get on the phone with my freaking ISP right now. But okay, we need to get our topic list up, because we're gonna get derailed really fast.
Yeah. Did anybody make a
Nah.
post yet?
No, I
That
don't
would
think
never
so.
happen.
I'll make a
Here.
post. I don't know if you want to thread
Go
it
for it,
or
go for it.
stick it.
Out.
Actually, let a mod make a post. One of y'all make a post.
I'll fucking do it. No.
Do it.
You'd probably get viewed more than us. I would just get downvoted.
Yeah, I'll get down.
Dude, I get downvoted
The
more
people
than
from
you do.
the people from the Optic Gaming subreddit will come on over and just downvote it for the hell of it.
Okay.
And then did
Mr.
you
X,
tweet
why
it
do
out
you
as
say
well?
bad things?
No.
I don't say
no.
bad things. Who said
Never.
something bad? Was it me?
You insulted Clayster when when Call was playing them. Okay, that makes you the worst person ever.
Okay,
This
let's
is
get
why
this
you got
straight.
dropped.
Let's clear this like right off the bat, okay? Like me and Clay are cool. Like we're
Yeah,
cool.
I figured. We're just
Like
we're just
like,
giving you
we're still
shit.
cool. Yeah, but everyone like makes it seem like I'm like on stage like sacrificing puppies and stuff. Like that's not the
No,
case. Like,
It's because everyone
No,
loves
you're not, dude.
drama.
Like,
They
You're
make
you're
I
drama.
was
cool.
at
No.
I was at UMG Philly, and
yeah.
we were watching, and everyone laughed when you said that to them, or you were
Absolutely.
talking shit to
Everybody
them.
in the room
Like,
thought it was hysterical. And then I got home and I like looked at my Twitter. I was like, "Oh man, Twitter probably thinks this is great." And they're like, "Go die!" I'm like, "Whoa, let's like dial it back a little bit." Like we're all cool.
Put out a tweet.
but
I-
who was the
I don't
coach
think
of
CoD
SB at
Competitive
that
Twitter.
event?
Bezo, he was like,
He's crazy.
Bezo like
Dude,
puts
he-
videos of his penis on Vine. It's ridiculous.
he like twerked with like maple syrup all over himself, right? That one time with
There-
Damon.
Oh yeah.
I
Remember that?
remember that. There was
That was
at the event. I was watching on a side station. And Bezo was yelling so loud and like pointing at everyone's screen. At one point, he just like knocks Fears in the head and is like, "Oh, sorry, man," and then he keeps yelling. It's like,
Dude, I never do like the touch thing. I think that like throws people off. Like even
Yeah.
at Philly, you had to like put your controller down for no third person thing. So like the best thing we can come up with is like I would tap the person after they die to remind them. But then after like touching Krim like 1,000 times because he got first blooded like a million times at that event, he was just pissed. He was like, "Don't fucking touch me." He's like, "I know." I was like, "Okay." I was like, "My bad."
I just thought it
I
was
don't
funny.
know.
I got in an argument with a couple people
Yeah.
right after Niagara, because well, I mean, even though I am a moderator, I kind of disagree with the whole like I'm gonna be perfect and make everybody love me now. No, I'm still going to be an asshole.
Yeah.
So
Like that's like the thing. Like I've kind of realized. I mean, I've known it for a while. It's like a player too. But like, not everybody's going to. There are always going to be people that hate you. Like people are
100%.
like, "Oh, like, are you gonna stop what you're doing?" Like to me, I'm like, no. Like we're winning. Why would I stop doing what I'm
My
doing?
favorite thing was the
Because a small percentage of people don't like it.
huge argument that went on, like talking about why did we let Mr. X cast?
Okay.
And I was like, well,
But-
what can
Yeah,
you
dude, he
see?
just
Like,
steals strats.
you can literally you can see less when you're casting at that
I can
event
see
as
more
if you were
from the
literally
crowd.
standing right behind them.
Think about
I
this.
felt
Like,
dumber
when
after
I
reading
cast,
that
right?
thread.
Oh, I mean, I read those threads, just because, I mean, the guys, when they read them, they feel bad for me. But I'm like, I don't care. Like, what? I don't care what people say. But, when you're casting, right, you have the game, but you're pretty much just talking about, like, what's going on. Like, I can't see any strat. Like, I can't really, like, okay, like, I can pick up on, like, oh, yeah, this guy runs that way. But, oh, they're running this. But, like, that's stuff that you could pick up watching in the crowd. I think you
It-
would learn more from watching in the crowd
Yeah,
than because you're
it's
not
a
having to
bigger
talk.
advantage to stand behind
Right.
the
I think
players
Yeah.
playing.
People don't really see it because I mean it's obviously not on camera, but we're
Well,
one of
that-
the only teams that stays in the venue and watches everybody play.
True. That's really true, actually. The other thing I noticed is Gandhi also did a good video talking about coaches. Talking about
Yeah.
people don't realize exactly what coaches actually do.
Nah, I mean there's like the
Speaking of
majority
that,
of like
what do you do? What do
Well, I
you
mean,
yeah, I was
there's
gonna say, it's like
th-
I scream
different coaches
and
do
then
different
just jump
things
up
too.
and scream and shit. That's all I really know how to do. I drink a bunch of Monster and I just jump up and down and I just scream.
All right.
For Black Ops 2 is a little more involved, I would say. Because the game modes, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like Hardpoint, I was basically like an extension of Clay. So
Yeah.
Clay
Hardpoint
wouldn't really have to
especially.
think about when he had to move, and I could kind of. Oh, oh yeah, Hardpoint was huge. I mean, I could kind of count, how many points we needed on each hill, so I knew when we needed to give up on hills, when we needed to really fight for the extra time, when it was worth it. And then CTF, I can count spawns in my head like really easy. So we never had anybody sneak. I mean, that's like we never lost a CTF pretty much on Black Ops 2. And
Yeah.
then with this S&D, I know a lot of like strats, and I like throw different ideas out because it's just good to have another person just there that can kind of give ideas and just kind of throw stuff around. Dom on this game, it's not. I mean, I can kind of pick up like where we need to focus at a certain time or where we're not really watching or focusing. Like I can pick up stuff like that pretty easy. Blitz, it counts people who are sneaking the entire time. I mean, when somebody comes off spawn, I can tell them where to go right off the bat. That needs to be picked up because I can see where plays are going to happen, And then search, pretty much the same thing. I just go over, strats before and what I think other teams use and what I've seen other teams use. It's effective against those teams. So,
Who has a dog?
no, it's my girlfriend. She has like 12 dogs or 13 dogs. So like when one person comes in the house, like the people start screaming, the dogs start going nuts. But yeah, no, it's not bad right now. Sometimes in the morning it gets really bad. You hear that? It's starting to pick up.
God, I can't take one dog.
I have one dog
dog
at
barking
home.
is enough.
I have one dog at home, and he's a little shithead. He's like 11 pounds, and he barks like a little bit.
I have a 70-pound Labrador that loves to make her presence known.
Dude, that thing would
I have
maul.
2 dogs, and they just sit outside all day. I mean,
Mine's like
They're
she's
messy
10
and
years
smelly.
old, so she's.
Mine's not
I had a
really
beta
annoying.
fish once.
I had a goldfish once. But yeah, I mean that's basically my job besides screaming and just like getting people to hate me, I guess.
All right, so I guess I put the thread up. So I guess we're officially starting now. So I should pull out the topic list.
Oh,
So this is like the first time this has ever happened. This is like monumental.
Okay, and we need to
Yeah.
go through like little introductions at least, so they don't just hear voices and not know who we are. So
Yeah.
for
My-
anyone, okay, Mr. X can go first.
My name's Matt.
Nice.
I coach and manage video game teams.
Okay.
Done.
there you go.
I am Bionic Potato, moderator from our CoDCompetitive. And you'll probably hear people in here call me CJ also, because that's what I go by in real life.
I'm Preston, or my alias is P Money. I'm 19, and I'm just a fan of Call of Duty.
You're a fan of Bionic Potato. Let's get that straight.
Also, I think I'm a bigger fan of Bionic Potato than I am of Call of Duty.
There we go. That's right, son.
I'm Slop Nessie. obsessive Call of Duty fanatic. I don't know. Is that a word? I'm a student and a mod over COD Competitive.
Gotcha.
And I'm Gumlism. I've been a longtime fan of the Call of Duty series. Not a big fan of Ghosts, but yeah, I'm also a moderator at ARC/COD Competitive.
I'm shocked you don't like Call of Duty Ghosts.
I don't think any of us are actually a fan of Call of Duty Ghosts.
This isn't your favorite one. To me, this is the best one ever.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, you did make a lot of money in it, so I mean, you can't hate it.
Oh, it's the best thing ever made.
Okay. So I guess on our topic list, I just completely segued past two of them on purpose. But
What do we?
so our first topic is X Games. Is COD really a sport, extreme sport, and kind of esports as a whole? What are your feelings on that, Mr. X?
I think X Games has potential to be big for esports. I'm gonna hold out a little bit to see what it's like, when we get there, when the production starts. But done right and done the way it's supposedly going to be done, I think it could be huge. We've never seen anything like Call of Duty go into the mainstream. I wouldn't call it a sport. I mean, let's like call it what it is. It's people playing video games.
Yeah,
like
I get you.
Totally
like,
thumbs.
Right. I mean, there isn't not like I'm going out and beating somebody with another controller with my hands, like hitting them with it. Like, there's nothing like physical involved. At least that's my opinion on like sports in general. I mean, but that's a whole other debate. But I think, as an e-sport, done right, it could definitely elevate us to the height that we're not in right now, and to an audience we're not really seeing right now.
Although, let's be honest, who would not love seeing Nadeshot and Aches go back and forth, bashing each other with Xbox controllers? Like, I would just die laughing.
I said they should do instead of like
again with controllers.
Who would win?
Bash each other over the head.
I think Pat
Whatever
would,
team Tipsy is on.
I feel like
Yeah.
Aches would win because of the mind games he plays, but that's.
I think there should, instead of like an all-star game, right? They should just do a doubles tournament of people that just hate each other. Like, not hate each other. So like, you could have like put like Formal and Clay against Nade and Aches. Like, I think you get some hilarious.
Just make people play with each other.
Like 2v2s. You got like Killa and Haggy against like against like.
Hey, Haggy and
Or-
Killa played together like a couple weeks ago in a 2K, or is it the?
They
fight
play
game?
together all the time.
Like they were
Yeah,
actually
those-
on. He played with Object Nation that day though, because Envy wasn't playing.
If those guys ever get back together, I will be completely shocked. You know what? I wouldn't even be. I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't even be shocked.
I would.
Yeah.
Just
I don't
be-
think I would be shocked.
I would just be like, well, you're doing that again. Good job.
I understand that though, because like once you have so much success, like winning a tournament like that with a team, like you're on a team that stinks. Like, man, like if we got back together, could we do that again?
Well, I guess you
But
could
it's
go with
just-
the flip side of that though. I mean, would you? Well, if you guys were to lose a tournament, would you consider taking Clayster back?
No,
See, that's the other side of that coin.
but it's two different things though. I mean, we made a decision. Okay, so like when we made the decision to drop Clay, right? There was like a lot of stuff that people don't see, like behind the scenes that goes on, which like I wouldn't
Yeah, I
talk
get
about
you.
because that's like behind the scenes stuff,
Yeah, I got
So
you.
like,
Like,
we
who's
did
going to say
it-
something negative about their own team, right?
Clayster.
First off, who wants to say something? Who wants like because people they misconstrued things and it goes public, and who wants to like say something bad about somebody else and like everyone believe it, and maybe it's true, maybe it's not true,
Yeah.
But we just felt like at that time, right? It was, I think it was pre-Philly. Yeah, it was pre-Philly. So let's say that's like what, December-ish, right? It was around December
Yeah, I
because
think
I was
so.
I
It was.
was still doing some stuff for MLG.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Because it was right after Columbus, wasn't it?
Yeah, because what's funny is I got a call like 5 a.m. from Pat. He was like, yeah, Karma wants to join. It's like, okay, I can't do anything about it now. It's like 5 a.m., And I went to sleep, and I remember I woke up, I looked at my Skype, and Puckett was like, yeah, we got Cole against TK on Pro Scrims tonight. He's like, it's going to be great. And in my back of my head, I was like, yeah, most likely that matchup isn't going to happen. Because there's going to be some stuff that goes down when I get there. And, as soon as I got off the train, like, you lose service in Penn Station a little bit.
Yeah.
And as soon as I got off the train, like, people started to get word of it. And I was like, yeah, when I get there, we may need to find like something else to do tonight, you know. But
That
honestly,
day was big.
we didn't expect Damon to join. I think that was something that just kind of festered on its own. Like I don't like I'm pretty good friends with Damon, right? So like I would never push somebody into a decision they didn't really want to, just because like we're boys. Like I can use my advantage like that. So like I wasn't gonna reach out, but when he didn't really come to us. It was kind of like a mutual thing, He kind of heard, I guess, that like we were thinking about it, and then he was kind of upset in his situation, but nobody knew. And I
He
think
didn't seem very happy on Envy, to be honest.
nah, he didn't. I don't think he's happy with the whole just team situation there, and I think the living situation too a little bit. But
Living.
The whole team
I think
situation there was interesting. Because you still had Rambo on that team, and Proofy says he doesn't like Rambo. Karma says he doesn't like Rambo. And, I mean, having that
And
much tension in a team is just not good.
but
they
it was
also
like a
just
huge.
came off an event where Karma carried really hard, and you could tell he was totally upset.
Didn't he have like a 1.3 KD in that? He had the best
Yeah.
KD in the tournament.
He was
Not
2 standard deviations above any other player.
Jeez.
And
He had averaged like I think it was like 10 kills a game in Surge. It's like silly. That's why I think I think Philly we really wanted to come out and play well for Karma Damon just because like he had a ton of crap. And it's like I think I said it a few times. I think I said it when I spoke to Scott about it because Scott wanted to do something about it. And I was like, I think people forgot like how good Karma is. Like on
Yeah.
Impact, everyone was like, "Oh my god, like Karma is like absurd." And then like he kind of went on Envy. Yeah, he kind of went on to Envy, right? And like they kind of really didn't do that well. They didn't do much of anything. And like I wouldn't say like the shine kind of wore off, but like people kind of just like took him for granted, and forgot about it.
Envy did worse with Karma than they did before Karma, and I think that's why.
Some people it's just not gonna
Envy
work.
does
You
better
can't change
without
your
their star
playstyle
players.
like to force something. You just can't do that. Not in a
That's why
short
I don't
amount of time.
understand. I don't understand what teams that like make roster moves now, right? Like they just pick up like a name, like they just like let's just grab that guy, and it's like, oh, that guy is good, but like, does he fit with the other players on your team?
That was why
Like,
I was laughing hysterically originally when Optic picked up Haggy and then Saints, and then was talking about.
Bro, that was such a joke.
We saw that
They had to be pulling our leg or something. I mean,
we saw that team. Like that's not gonna work. I was like, I highly doubt they go to an event.
I personally like Merck's statement on it. It's just like all of them standing back, just slaying people. It's like, all right, so who's gonna go negative and take B?
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, Optic's a whole nother thing because those guys have so many fans that they're under so much pressure. Like, if I was Nate Shot, like, I would not want to play Call of Duty. Like, I would not want to play this at all.
I don't think he does it. I don't even think he wants to play Call of Duty.
I can't imagine it's any him at all.
I was looking at Twitter followers, and I think Nate Shot has more fans of him than Curse, FaZe, EG, and like every other organization put together. Just Nate Shot.
I think he does. I think there was a post on that on the subreddit. Probably 2 months back.
On the subreddit, let's be honest.
Yeah, where it showed a graph that had all the Twitter followers from all the pros, and Nadeshot and Scumpy were just I don't even know how much.
It's absurd,
higher
dude. When I compare like just like followings of like COD players, like I don't even consider them like that's something that's just like not gonna. You're not gonna attain that. They were just in a special situation with that whole kind of movement.
All right. Well, and I guess here's the next question for everybody. What 4 teams do you or what teams in general? I guess it's 4. Do you think will move into season 3? Because
this
up in the air, except for Optic.
This is going off of the current standings. So I don't know if they're final yet or not.
So the current standings.
So right now the bottom 4.
Right now the bottom 4 are as follows. I believe it's TK, Curse Orange, Just Us, and Strictly Business.
Yes.
So which one of those teams won't get back in?
Or
No,
Basically,
no.
what teams do you think will get into season 3 of those 4, and who do you think will replace the ones you don't think will move on?
I mean, I think Optic Nation's definitely going to be there. If that's like a team for that'll be
Who do you think
there.
they'll
I think
replace?
that. Hmm.
I think
You know,
Justice is a team that's going to be dropping out of the league if there's any of the three to, or any of the four to lose an open bracket.
But they
It'll be them.
definitely deserved it more than Rise. I'll put it that way. Even though Strictly Business is dead last now.
Well, I mean,
Well,
Rise is cursed, so they definitely won't be making it back into the league.
Rise
And then
dropped, right? So
Rise
thing
is
I've
different
noticed-
now too.
the thing I've noticed though is even though Justice is like a bottom tier team when it comes to the top tier teams, when they play AMP teams, they completely
on 'em,
shit
yeah.
on them. So like when you look at these bottom teams in season 2, there's no reason they won't be back in season 3. I could see any of them easily making a run.
Although
Especially
I
on
have,
the-
I have to say, looking at Justice's win record for the season, they were like 1-18 there for a while. They're 10-21 now.
well, let's see. TK to get into. Let's see. How many games are left in the MLG season?
There's
If
they're
there's
12
44.
and 19 right
I
now,
think
so they
10
should
left,
be.
yeah.
Let's see, that's 31.
13.
So there's 13 left for them. So they can still
13.
come back into the top 8.
Right. So they're basically three behind Vex in the loss column
Yeah.
because TK's played more
But
games, so they have
just have to get
19
the ratio
losses.
better, and they'll be good. It'll be weird seeing TK and AM bracket though. If that does
TK
happen.
can
Yeah.
almost. They need to almost. They need to
Win
like
every
win
game.
out. If there's only like 11 games left, they got to go like 9-2 or something insane.
Which means
Sharp's got to get better.
Gotta
internet
move out of
these days.
Kentucky real quick.
He's been with his brother, I think, where he has better
Yeah,
internet.
he went to his brother's. You know.
It's kind of interesting watching them lose league games, but then every week during the 2K tournaments, they're just fucking kicking everyone's ass. Like
Yeah,
it's
they're in
hard
the
to
finals every week.
it's hard to understand why they're losing these league games.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just they're not trying hard enough. Maybe it's a preparation issue. It could be a lot of things.
I mean, you can burn yourself out by playing. Like, I mean, that's one thing. You know, we play really the 2Ks and the 5Ks, and then we play the league matches. But you haven't really seen us scrim too much, just because
Can anybody scram?
just because it's too much, man. There are too many league games. Like these guys are like 18, 19-year-old dudes. Like they go to college. Like they have friends. Like 44 league games, then a tournament all day Sunday. Like these guys need time to like live.
Okay. We
Yeah,
can
I
go
do
and-
think that sometimes. I wish it was like 3 days a week or something like that. Having them almost every day is a bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
Especially
Having
when
league
teams
matches
are playing every other
2
day.
days would be nice.
Dude, without the standings on the subreddit, like you would never know what teams in which place. If
Never.
you guys didn't have the standings and I couldn't go look at the standings, like because that's where I go to look at the standings. I can't find them on the MLG site.
I can't
If-
either.
I don't
No.
think they have them on the MLG. I
But
know
you-
they're,
they used
they're
to,
under
but they don't anymore.
they're under
They
the
don't.
player channels.
They
the
took them out.
individual
'cause
player channels.
I was mouthing off to someone one day about how MLG didn't keep track of standings, and then this guy's just like, "Really? Because they have them right here." And I was like, "Oh crap."
I was like, I can't find them. But
And
No,
then now they're
MLG
gone, though.
is
They're gone
MLG is notorious for not having a good website when it comes to laying things out, and it's easy to understand for just a normal user. Like if people from other esports all the time when they come over to do MLG tournaments, they have a lot of trouble trying to find the brackets and all sorts of other things.
Yeah, that's true.
So
No, but I mean-
yeah,
too many games, dude.
Yeah, that's especially like there was one like 3 days in a row there where EG played like literally
Every
nine games over 3 days, which that is just too much.
I mean, you guys are fans, right? So like,
Yeah, of course.
let me ask you guys this questions. Like when we get to like a LAN event, right? Does like any of like, you know, EG is gonna play like Optic. Does that like still have the same kind of excitement after watching it like a million times during the season, or is it kind of like we've seen this like already?
Especially in this game though, because people have this huge belief that like online means absolutely nothing, which I get that it's fluky and it's weird and all this kind of stuff happens, but it makes it to the point where people, I mean, you see like Optic or something beat EG online, even though EG's gone on a ridiculous run when it comes to the season. But like people see that like if they beat EG or something online, be like, oh well, I doubt they could beat them on LAN still. So they want to watch it and still, because Optic's beaten like, well, I'm still fighting the urge to call you guys Complexity, but
nope, can't do it. Can't do it.
Okay, sorry. They beat Evil Geniuses online before, and then they get to LAN, and they haven't really done it since what? That was Champs last year, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and they almost did. I mean, the thing, like, I have never seen more viewers in. We have an IRC channel we use for during events. We talk to people, and I've never seen more people in there than during the EG and Complexity match at
EG
Champs.
Optic.
That was possibly
Sorry,
the most hyped
Optic
match in
Complexity.
Ghosts.
I'm still screwing up about that.
Yeah.
Because
But
there
as
was
a fan-
140 something people in there probably during them. We have like 18 maybe at most on a normal day.
Yeah.
As a fan, watching these league matches, I'll just tune into certain players that I like Nameless is streaming match. I'll go watch Nameless play, but then I'll get off. I'm not going to stay around and watch all of Envy's matches for the day.
Yeah.
That's like 6 hours of.
I lose
chilling.
interest. I lose interest after like 2 maps.
They're like
It's like I gotta go
glorified
do something else.
No?
And my brother starts being really loud. Sorry if you can hear that.
That's fine. He's
Hardly.
jamming out, dude. I respect it. I respect it.
I don't know why
So-
he chooses to do that right now, but. Yeah,
So when it comes
fine.
to these LAN events, and then you have a team like Optic facing a team like EG, you asked if we still get excited as much as like they did it the first time, but for me, yes, because the storyline changes. Every event, something happens in the background, some kind of roster thing happens, there's some sort of drama, and then it just makes it that much better when there's a new event. If like an NV faces an Optic again, well, Optics lost the last 2 or 3 times they faced off, and the Optic fans are really annoyed. You can hear them on, or you can see them write about it on the subreddit.
and in MLG
Optic
chats
ha-
that are
Yeah,
parasitic and
Optic
terrible.
has a better chance of beating EG, but they continuously lose to Envy every time. So there's drama.
know-
There's a nice storyline there, and I get excited every time there's a LAN event.
Did you see
me too.
over the last 31 games the map count between the EG and Envy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
didn't see that. What
It's like
was
31. Oh, right?
It's like 31-0, I think.
Yeah, I think it was 31.
That's crazy.
That was like as of like last week.
Envy has a
2 weeks.
huge mental block for you guys. It is embarrassing.
That's
Yep.
a good next topic.
I
What
had
is
a topic
Envy's
next,
problem?
actually.
Are they the second best team, or
You know,
are they
honestly,
just?
they're
just
they're
can't
like
be?
better. Okay, so like they're better than everybody else, right?
Kinda-
But if you were to
it
say
depends
one
on the
team that-
day.
if you were to
pretty
say if you were to say one team that would pose a threat to us, it would be Face Black. It wouldn't be
Absolutely.
Envy.
Envy
It's
Face
just
Black
matchup.
is scary,
good.
but they haven't.
cannot hold a candle to EG.
Yeah.
They just, and that's
See,
not to
they-
say they aren't talented. They just literally they do have the same problem TK had during Black Ops 2. They can beat the crap out of everyone, and as soon as they get up against Complexity or Evil Genius, whatever you want to call them, they just fall to puddles.
See, TK, I think on Black Ops 2, they held on to their roster like a little too long. Like I'm under the thing that like if you keep getting second, right, like over and over again, like you're better off like just blowing it up and trying to get one person like that says that like would make a difference than opposed to just keep trying the same things over and over. You know?
Yeah.
Okay, next topic. This will be a fun one for you, Matt. MLG
Wait, wait.
versus Evil Geniuses.
Wait, before we move on to that, I just want to say one thing about the EG versus Envy thing. So basically, there's a thing in a lot of esports where it's all about the matchup. So I'm a huge fan of StarCraft 2, and one player might be one of the best players in the world, but there's a certain matchup, a certain play style that he's not good at, and as a result, he can't win the tournament. So I feel like Envy is better than all the other teams, but there's just something about the matchup that sort of messes them up when they come against EG. I think like when it comes to just raw gun skill, they just can't compete. And when it comes to playing smart, they they they're evenly matched. So in the end, they're just gonna always lose.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
I always said
So
about
you guys,
EG
since I don't know if you're
is
checking the chat or not, turn off audio or the auto mic adjust because that's being a problem apparently.
Yeah,
okay. It's probably me
make
then.
sure it's off. Yeah, they just said make sure it's off. The volume's going up and down over and over again.
Yeah, I just turned mine off and I had speaker adjust on my computer on. That's probably what was causing that.
I'll check
Okay.
that as well.
Well, it's because OBS is pulling my computer audio. That's why.
Okay.
There you go.
But okay, so next topic, the MLG versus Evil Geniuses. That was fun to watch, mainly because okay, Patrick Price is a brilliant man when it comes to trolling people. He just is, especially when it's MLG, because
Yeah.
like, well, they tried to say it was a competitive advantages. He goes and posts the team strats on Twitter. And then they tell him like he can't stream on Twitch, so he literally he streams on Twitch, but he just puts his Twitch chat over top of the stream. That was laughing so incredibly hard, and I've never seen him have that many viewers other than the one time that he put Nate Shot's picture in his stream.
I was at work when that happened. How many viewers did he
so
have?
bad.
He had a few.
I remember that
What?
on Black Ops 2, and he used Nate's picture.
Yeah.
It was Nate. The title of the stream was Nate Shot playing as Patrick Price.
He's
Alright.
as funny as can be. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, he's great.
So
You know, I don't know what went on there. I mean, it's there's a whole stuff that, I mean, it's like anything. There's politics involved with stuff. I mean, I don't think they did it. I mean, I wouldn't say they did it on purpose. I mean, we all knew that like something like this could happen, right? Where everyone has to stream on MLG. And I mean, we just don't. This is something we don't want to do. We don't want to. That's not where we want to stream. But I mean, it is their league. I mean, that's they have the right to do what they want. I mean, it's obviously. I mean, the fans want us to stream it on Twitch. Obviously, we want to stream on Twitch. It's
What is
not
that
going to happen.
noise?
But I think there's somebody outside riding a motorbike now.
Yeah, it sounded
Oh,
like a
okay.
motorcycle.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean that's not going to happen. I mean, streaming league matches on Twitch, at least for this season, the season 2 doesn't seem like it's going to happen. Maybe season 3 we can work something out. I'm not going to make any promises, but I mean it's going to be attempted to work out because we want to stream on Twitch. That's where we want our streams to exist.
God, my brother is so loud.
it's alright.
And the IRC just
All
had
right.
a net split right now.
Wow. Alright. What are we?
What do you guys think about the MLG player versus Twitch?
Personally, Twitch is still better quality for me. Like, I used to have a lot of trouble. MLG would constantly buffer on me even when I had like 60 megabit a second connection. So that was a huge problem there for a while, and it kind of fixed itself over time. But I
As
still
someone who
prefer
watched-
Twitch.
As someone who watched EG like every day, like on the side, like listening to Aches and all of that play, I don't like the fact that they're on Twitch, or I don't like the fact that they're not streaming. But I pretty much agree, or I could pretty much side with both. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
sure, MLG wants their teams to be streaming on their site. They get the ad revenue, and they get everything localized in one place. Plus, they get all of the teams streaming at the same time.
Yeah.
But then,
But is
at the
that
same
better
time,
for
you have like
Well,
then you have Curse is on a Zubu. Nobody talks about that,
please.
and they can't stream. And then you have 2 teams out of the
Hang
league
on a
that are not
second.
streaming the matches. I just don't agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I just don't think that for this thing to grow, right, it needs to
Yeah.
exist in as many places as possible. Right? I
Right.
mean, the more eyes that see it, the better it is for everybody. And I don't, I think MLG is really making a good attempt with the site.
Okay,
I mean, they're doing a
that was
lot of
really
work to it,
loud.
but I
I
don't
think
know if that's where
I
this
think
thing
COD
is
is
going to
missing
go.
out on a lot of casual viewers that they could be getting if they had a bunch of streams up on on the stream browser on Twitch, because a lot of people, they go to Twitch's homepage, they check all the streams that are up, and if they see someone in a different game, they're more likely to check it out. And when it's on a completely different site, it might negatively affect the growth of the community.
That's
So
what I was
yeah, I
gonna bring
agree
up.
with you.
Exactly.
I'm a
Because
huge
it
fan
doesn't
of it
bring new
being.
viewers at all. The only people who
I mean,
know to look there are people who already know what MLG.TV is.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
how
Not really
many
getting anything new.
how many random how many random viewers do you think Nate Shot got whenever he had 30K viewers on during a 2K final or something like that?
Well, yeah, and the
I
thing is,
mean-
people forget is once you get a good load of viewers, like, it grows on its own. Because you get to the point where
Right.
people are just like, oh, look, he has X and X thousand videos, or 1,000 views. Let's go see what he's doing. He must be good.
Yeah.
It
That's
also
probably my biggest
skews.
gripe.
Go
Right.
on.
Oh, my biggest gripe with MLG is there's no view count.
I actually understand why they do that.
Yeah.
I
No
understand
competition.
the no competition thing, but I like to see the growth, like especially for events. Like when MLG is having a tournament, like last year I got to see it grow from 10,000 people watching the tournament to 130,000 people, 90,000 people, 80,000 people watching these tournaments. But now I have no idea who's watching. All I get is, oh, the stream count was really high, or a tweet from a
What did that
secondary
mean?
source saying. What do you mean? What do you
No,
say?
I mean,
mean,
it's something that MLG has always done just by choice. They're always super secretive when it comes to their viewer counts, and they always release these infographics after events that skew the numbers in a way that they can market their events as well as possible.
For events, I guess it makes sense because it's not. I mean, for individual channels, I completely understand that because it defeats the whole thing I was talking about. That's like people are gonna flock to someone who already has a good amount of viewers. Just kind of a fact. So for individual channels, removing the view count kind of makes sense. For events and stuff, I mean, I don't really see any harm in it other than them claiming it's a competitive thing to other people in the business, which basically just means Twitch.
All right.
It does skew the numbers towards people who aren't following Call of Duty. Like, you can't really tell now where Call of Duty stands as an esport compared to other esports because
Right.
there's no numbers to really compare with. So, like, let's say you're a would-be sponsor, you go and you have no idea what game you should be getting into, but it's probably not going to be Call of Duty because the numbers are shrouded in a a bunch of darkness. There's no way to know what's really going on unless you personally contact these players or MLG. Just the casual viewer has no idea what's going on. Like, someone who's thinking about getting into the esport has no idea how big Call of Duty is. So I would like viewer counts, but I can see why they don't have them.
Yeah.
Right on.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything else to add, or can we move on to the next topic?
Go ahead.
Next.
If you were in charge of building the new complexity roster, who would you pick? Each of us.
Okay, so Complexity has the biggest shoes to fill that any organization has ever had to fill.
Yeah.
No matter what they do or who they pick, it's not gonna hold a candle to the original squad. So if I was Complexity, I would sit tight, maybe even wait till the next game when roster mania happens again, because we all know it's going to happen again.
Of course.
And
It'll
then
probably happen after
Yes.
Anaheim.
It's I was
and
just gonna say
after
it's happening.
and it might even happen soon. But I would just sit tight, wait, and then try to build a god squad when certain players are unhappy.
Alright.
what
Press
what
the
players do
button.
you think that would be?
I think John's always deserved a good team. Maybe building a squad around John.
Okay.
I don't know any specific players I'd like to see on Complexity, but I'd like personally. I think it'd be cool if they picked up an AM team, an amateur team, and
Yeah. I don't know
supported
about that.
them. And
I don't think they would do that.
They wouldn't.
I don't think they
Yeah.
would. I don't think they
yeah,
would.
let's
but
take sail guns and make them complexity. That works, right, guys?
yeah.
Uh,
Pick
XG
up
Complexity
Nico
instinct,
Hill, let's
Yoshi.
go.
nihil.
I think Complexity has all the power to
Yeah,
get whatever players they'd want. I mean, they're a huge organization, and they have the they have good sponsors, and I don't know, they could do a lot.
if I was them,
Um,
like the person that makes the most sense to reach out to is Clayster, right?
right. But
I don't
would
think he'd leave
Clayster ever
Optic.
leave Optic?
Yeah, I don't think he would.
I'm not gonna make a comment. Well, Slop, you know the same things I do, so.
I think I do too on that, but
that's
mean, I
why
think-
I said
Anyway,
wait.
if I were to put together a team,
Yeah,
I think I
let's
would
put
go
let's put
with.
stun on complexity. Let's go.
I think I would go with
oof.
a mixture of Phase Red and TK. Is that? So like Gunjar, JCap, Apathy, and Replays maybe? I don't know. But I don't think Replays, Classic, and JCap are going to be splitting up anytime soon.
I
For
would
sure.
say if I had to put a roster together, give me Apathy, Clayster, Dito, and Nameless.
That's a pretty
awesome.
solid roster right there.
That would wreck, yeah.
That would be a sick team.
Everybody in the chat's freaking out now, yelling about how Clayster is getting dropped because I don't know. We're talking about something from months ago.
No, it's not happening.
No, it's not happening. Not even close. If it was going
other-
to, you would have seen it by now.
The other
Actually, no,
thing
I
is
just heard. I heard Optics dropping Clayster for stun. Actually,
Yeah, that's true.
so
That's the
chat
intel.
freak out. Freak out
I
about
heard
that
for
one,
Yoshi,
chat.
but that was just me.
I don't think there's any way he leaves Optic, though.
I don't think
No.
he would either.
I think he's really happy there.
Yeah.
The other thing is a player's
course it is.
value goes up and down depending on the game. Like,
Black
Right
Ops
now,
2 Clay was incredible.
yeah, Clay was
Well,
an
you know,
incredibly
valuable,
valuable player in Black
Yeah.
Ops 2.
Most valuable player.
And then
MVP.
we move on to Xbox One Ghosts, where ARs are kind of useless.
Right.
Well, except in certain game modes and certain situations, that kind of stuff. But they aren't like a staple that you needed to have, basically.
Nope.
Do you think?
What
Do you think the game will ever move away from that, where someone that's really good with an AR could shine?
I think with the newer games coming out, I think it's just going to keep going more towards faster, action-paced game modes. You're not really going to see, post-up
I
L triggering
Yeah,
modes.
I think the
Yeah.
meta game has changed in throughout Call of Duties to a point where aggressive play map control is way more important than a player posting up and getting kills in a certain power
I mean,
position.
I watched Goonjar one night when I was just tuned into a stream, and he was just he was AR on Sovereign Dom, and he was just sitting back on the green street, and he had 19 kills, and they were down by 30 points. And it's because his subs are basically fighting 3v4 mid map, and they're great. He picks off a guy coming down green street every 2 seconds, but his subs are still fighting 3-on-3 even on the other side of the map.
And he's not going to stop nades from that position. He's not going to stop map control from that position. They're still going to stop the other team from capping the flag.
No, yeah, nothing's really going on.
Alright. Let's see who else. Oh. Well, we don't really need to talk about the coaches ban, because that's been beaten to death on the subreddit. That's been out for a while.
All right, go ahead. Next topic.
Yeah, it's Killed
So I
on
guess
seven.
we can do kind of like little outside of Call of Duty stuff for Mr. X. What's something like aside from your gaming life? What do you enjoy besides gaming?
Oh, dude, when I'm home, I play basketball like every weekend. I used to play in like a league for like college kids, like every Tuesdays and Thursdays it was. But with my travel schedule, I've kind of like shit the bed on that. But when I'm home, to be honest, I really don't game too. Like, there's nothing really out for me to really game. I mean, I was playing Halo Reach with Ogre 2 for a little bit, and then I just kind of got bored of that. But right now, I mean, when I'm home, I'm working. Then, if I get home early enough, I go down to the park and I just ball for a little bit. But I played basketball throughout like middle school and high school, so
Alright, I'll
I
pull
still
up
play.
some of the questions for Mr. X from the subreddit now, because when I made a
That's what
thread
I
a
was
couple
doing
days ago,
as well.
I went through it and saved a bunch of comments that I liked. So,
All right.
Are there any
digging.
comments are there any ones you
User
did?
favorite. All right.
Oh, and I get to ask this question because Cereal's a good buddy of mine.
All right. Go for it.
Okay,
Go for it.
favorite cereal. He's kind of a staple when it comes to asking people questions. But he
Right,
wants
I
to
see
know,
him.
what's your beef with cereal? Why don't you like cereal?
Well, him as like a poster, I have no problem with. Cereal as a whole, I'm not really a cereal guy. Like, you put milk in it, it's soggy and stuff. There's not really like a taste to it.
Yeah,
I never
I
really
think I'm
like that.
with Mr. X on this one. You have like a 3 minute window where cereal tastes good, and then it's not so good. It's
Right,
just
like I make a
mush.
bowl of cereal, like hypothetically, right? Like I were to make a bowl of cereal right now. Like I put milk in it. Like how many good like spoonfuls of cereal am I gonna get out of that? Like two, three before it comes like soggy. And then you're just basically just drinking a bowl of milk,
With like mush in it and like
which I don't
crumbs and
like
shit.
milk to begin with. I mean, I'm a huge coffee drinker, but I drink my coffee just straight black.
I love a glass of milk, man. Big old glass
All
of
right.
milk. Yeah.
User ZX124 wants to hear your opinion about unbanning Stalker.
Oh my god, how ridiculous would that be? It would go from 4 subs to
4
fucking
ARs.
4 hours.
Do you really think that would happen?
Oh,
I
100%, dude. The ARs when you're moving with Stalker, it feels like you're shooting nukes at them. Like it's insane. No, they couldn't. That's the problem with Ghost, right? Is that you want to make ARs relevant, and you need to put Stalker on, but you put Stalker on, and then everyone uses an AR. You take Stalker off, everyone uses a sub.
You'd need to
So
nerf
there's no.
Stalker a little. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Okay,
mean, it
we
was
got a.
like
Oh.
remember at Black Ops 2, sorry, but when you had Stalker on with the subs, you moved faster than you did, like, just having it out. There was, like, a glitch with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's crazy. It's mind-blowing.
It's weird how stock worked in Black Ops 2, but it didn't work in Ghosts.
Yeah.
Well, because guns were balanced, right? Like, Black
Yeah,
Ops 2, you were able
Yeah.
to, like, shoot a sub kind of cross-map a little bit. Like, and you can, the stock wasn't too overpowered. Like,
I
it was
think the
perfect.
speeds are also different, like the mobility rate with the aim down sight from stock compared to stalker. I feel like it's a lot faster in Ghost compared to Black Ops
Dude,
2.
definitely.
it's like running full speed in fucking Ghost, dude. It's insane.
Yeah.
You have the same walk speed as an SMG in Ghost if you have stalker with an AR. So yeah. And the other thing is that always comes into play with balance is hit detection. Like ARs are it's a lot easier to hit your shots. So an AR with stalker would be a lot more powerful in a game.
Okay, I have another fun
Text.
question. This one actually comes from Legitimate Rage in the Twitch chat. If Mr. X was on a desert island and he had to choose a top half fish or a bottom half fish
Yeah.
mermaid, which would you choose?
You had to have sex with it. That's the question.
Yeah. I figured that was
Top
self-explanatory.
half fish mermaid. Oh,
Top half fish or the bottom half fish? You gotta choose one.
That goes to anybody else in
Basically
the
the
Twitch
top
chat.
half fish.
If y'all want to ask questions,
I already asked if
yeah,
if they had questions.
we'll-
Yeah,
we'll answer them.
Some ridiculous questions. I'll answer pretty much anything.
All right. Hold on. Let's see. Another question off the subreddit, A Punk Gaming asked, "How do you think teams will fare at RTX, and who do you think will place first, second, or third?"
Oh god, that's that
RTX?
Halo
Yeah,
event, right?
it's Halo.
Yeah, that's the
Because
Halo.
people really
Yeah,
wanted us to bring up Halo with you.
yeah.
There's like
And
there's a
I
few
know
teams
absolutely
playing.
nothing about it. So
There's the Optic Halo team now, obviously.
Yeah.
It's what Flame, Ola, Snipe Down,
Snipe Down.
and Ace, right?
Yeah.
yes,
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm sure I'm sure that team will do pretty well. I mean, they have some decent players on there, right? I mean, those guys are all insane. Uh, and then you got I think Formal's going, right? I think Formals is
Formal
I'd
going
be
is
with
amazed if he wasn't.
Heinz. It's Formal, Heinz,
he's on.
APG, and Lethal.
Yeah,
And Lethal.
yeah.
Wow.
I
He's
think
on
they could
ambush.
win.
Ooh,
If Formal
that'd be
put
interesting.
How weird would it be if
right, because
the Optic Halo team went on a stretch of
it's a
winning
very good
tournaments, but
team,
the Optic team never wins?
right? And then I mean, Tom says he's retired too, but I mean, you never know. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't think
I
you'd
wish
come play
I
Black Ops
watched
2 with me.
MLG
I
when
don't think anyone
Halo was
like,
around.
yeah, you missed out. That's when it was like
Yeah.
it was kind of all about the games. Then it wasn't all about where I'm streaming and how many ads are being run. It was about who's actually winning events and who's not.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think it was because I don't have Xbox that I never played.
it's it's probably more
Never played it.
sustainable like this though than it was in Halo.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of Halo fans.
Oh,
That'll
like
come
as
over
like a
to this
league
scene.
and stuff.
As a game itself, as a sport, as a esport, whatever, it's probably more sustainable to be in a system
Oh,
where it's more about streaming and all than winning events.
Oh, here's
oh
another
no,
fun question, by the way, whenever you're done with this one.
no, I'm done. I'm done. That's
Okay.
it. Call.
What's one of the weirdest things the team has talked about while playing another team on LAN? I know in your AMA video they said they talked about McDonald's or something when they completely destroyed a team.
Some of the stuff that's said is just absolutely hysterical. I mean, we don't pretty much talk about anything from like people in the crowd to like what you think the casters are saying. Sometimes like me and Pat will kind of like cast what's going on like in front of us. I'll, I'll be like, Krim, move your big head. I can't see your screen. Like, we'll just. And I mean, if people see us and we're laughing, we're like having a good time. They don't really know why, but like, I mean, there's some stuff up there that's just it's said, and you're just kind of like, what? There was at one time when we were at ESWC, and it was a search and destroy match, and we planted a bomb on Meltdown, and we're all looking around like whatever, or like everyone's looking around for the last guy, and the lights start going crazy in the building, like they just start going nuts, like right on the stage, and Pat is like, check the bomb. And we looked at the bomb, and guys just defusing it. Like they were like getting ready to throw like this huge like celebration for this ninja defuse. It was so funny.
Someone just asked Mr. X and I to have a rap battle, and the answer to that is no. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm white. I
No.
know that, which I mean, I don't need to try and embarrass myself in the middle of a podcast. Can X tell the
Yeah,
Jared
X,
story
I mean, I
for the
plan
love
on
of God? I
making
need
my
to
first
hear
rap
me and my
release.
closest 46
No,
friends.
no, no. Next question. Next question. The Jared name
uh,
lives in
Someone wants
infamy
to
as
know
the
if you
Jared King.
if Advanced Warfare is bad, do you think the scene will survive?
if it's another Ghost.
I mean, it's interesting. If
Yeah,
it's
if it's another.
it'll be tough. It'll take a lot.
You're cutting in and
It'll
out a
take a
little
lot.
bit.
Yeah, you're
But,
cutting
I
in and
mean,
out.
It all depends.
Repeat yourself real
what.
quick.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yes,
Yeah.
now we can.
I mean, it all depends on the fans, right? I mean, like we kind of just said, like this whole thing kind of determines on, viewership and just turnout at events. And
Hmm.
I mean, if the AM teams don't want to play, then that's tough. If the viewers don't want to watch because of the 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 platform or the game or whatever, then it'll be tough. But I mean, that's stuff that we can't control that, right?
Right.
Like what we can control is like putting up good fucking matches.
Oh.
So like that's what we're like kind of worried about, and like let everybody who can figure out that stuff figure it out.
You gotta milk it while it's here, right? You gotta win every tournament.
Huh. We have another question from the chat too. You don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but they want to know if MLG actually tried to buy Complexity and make them final boss.
I don't know. Yeah, we don't know if we're allowed to speak on that.
Next question.
Okay, yeah, I figured. Even though
I mean, it's public knowledge.
You're lagging.
no, it's been suggested as public knowledge. It's never been confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will not confirm or deny that. I will only laugh.
When Sir
Same
Scoots,
question.
an ex-EG member, says it, I think it's pretty obvious.
Okay.
Why is it whenever I'm doing things like this, everything in my house decides to make noise?
You're not making any noise, dude. You're fine.
No, my brother's playing guitar in the background, and my phone's
I can't hear
ringing,
it.
and my cell phone's ringing, and everything.
Oh.
No, you're good.
Okay. What else? Mr. X, can you taste that X Games gold already?
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm just reading stuff out of the Twitch chat. I should probably read them before I say them.
Yeah, we've been tasting it since when they announced it.
Even though Krim has been actively angry about that, the fact that there's no prize money.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I think it's ridiculous that there are events with no prize money, but I mean, it's the X Games. I get it. It's still cool.
The only thing that I say is that, like, well, people always get mad and call them moderators, like MLG shills. They say we work for MLG, that we're in bed with MLG. All these things, even though they don't actually ever ask what our beliefs on MLG are. But the only thing I can see that them, like, reasoning I can see for them not giving a prize pool is if they literally had to spend what they would have put in a prize pool on allowing the X Games to include them. Or getting the X Games to allow them to be there.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know that. You know?
Yeah, it could be a
And
huge
I
accounting
doubt they
thing.
would- Yeah.
It could just be they had their prize money for the year already spread out the way they wanted to, and then the opportunity arose for the X Games to come
Especially
up,
since
and they,
the prize pool for Anaheim is big.
Yeah.
yeah,
70,000 for the pro bracket, right?
Yeah, 80 grand
Yeah.
total,
Well,
I think.
it's 70,000, right? But it's
I think.
it's the same payout pretty much for. It's the same exact payout for first. They're just paying out the bottom.
Yeah, it's more evenly spread. Like 6th place is getting $3,000 instead of like 600.
well, to be
Yeah,
fair,
but,
they did play in a league for a long time,
Yeah.
so they do kind of deserve some more money.
Did you see how is it announced how the
Mm.
bracket's going to work for that yet?
For which?
Yeah,
Anaheim or for X
For the
Games?
Anaheim.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't. Has it? I don't actually know.
I saw someone make a bracket on the subreddit where it was like, I think like the top 5 seeds don't have a round 1, and that it's an 11-team bracket.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. That'll be interesting to watch.
My brother is terrible.
All right.
Okay.
Anything else?
Any other questions from the Twitch chat? Give them one last round, then I put one into the mod chat too to see if any of them wanted to ask anything.
No, not answering
Matt
anything for the
has-
mods. Oh, no.
No, you're just mad at us for being in
Hublub.
bed with MLG still.
Tell them no. Yep.
Even
I'm pissed.
Hublub? Come on, man.
I'm like,
Hublub,
no, hands off.
You're doing
yeah, of
Hublub
course.
dirty right now.
Was there?
You're doing Hublub dirty.
No,
All right.
I'm kidding.
What? We need something, the AM League that is going on? We don't need to talk about that. The AM League...
Do you think there should be a secondary league besides the MLG league? You know what I mean? Like where people can maybe like the winner of that would move on to the next league or something like that, like a relegation type system.
You wouldn't even be able to keep up with who the hell's who.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Okay, and here I guess this is the last subreddit question. Looking back at footage from events where you were coaching Complexity or well now Evil Geniuses, do you regret any of your behavior? Parentheses trash talking to the
Oh,
team and such, or do you think that it's fine and you'll continue to act the exact same way?
gonna act the same way.
I
So
figured.
keep making those threads.
And
YOLO, right?
well,
Make
the other
those
part of
threads
that
all you
was,
want.
does any of the hate you get bother you?
Oh no, man, I'm cool with it all. I
I
understand where it
I
comes
figured
from.
that much from
What it
when we were
is.
talking in DMs, in the one morning or yesterday morning I think it was.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
No, I get it. I mean, I'm like, I mean, obviously, I mean, I don't really read that stuff. I mean, the guys will read it and they be like, "Did you see the nasty things they're saying about you on Reddit?" I'm like, "No, I don't care." I'm like, "I'm going to get buffalo wings and watch the game." They can keep typing all of this stuff about me all they want. I don't care. You know, I do, I do my job pretty well. You know, I mean, clearly, I mean, we've had good results since I've come on and do what I do. So I wouldn't stop it because some kids on some forums or some fans or different teams don't like it. I mean, I've never been once told by UMG, Gfinity, or MLG or any tournament organizer that I crossed the line or they were mad with the way I acted. I've never had anybody say anything. So yeah, so I mean, if they don't have an issue with it, the other teams don't have an issue with it because after these events I'm like hanging out with them, just like hanging out, like laughing, like they don't have an issue with it. They don't understand what the big deal from everybody else is, but it doesn't bother me. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I go to work, hang out,
I think people
do my
think
thing.
that fail to see
Says whatever.
where the teams are leaving after an event and they're hanging out with each other.
Yeah.
They don't see
Yeah,
that when they're watching on the stream. They just see people yelling at each other. And they think that's like the exactly what you feel about Clayster when you're yelling at him.
no,
Or,
Yeah.
I mean, they don't see me like yell at like Scump or somebody, right? And then like the next morning in the lobby of the hotel, like he like sneaks in behind me and gives me a big ass hug. Like they don't see stuff like that. No, they
uh, call Keemstar. We got a big story for him.
yeah.
Mr.
Scump
X and Scump are gay together.
hugs. Scump hugs me. He's got that girlfriend with like a whole bunch of followers. She'll
Oh,
kill me.
trust me. We
Let's not
know.
talk about
We
that. Let's not talk
know.
about that.
And she's got
oh,
more
shut up.
followers than me. Doing her thing out there, Mrs. Scumby. I
She's got
respect it.
plenty out there. Trust me.
This is
Oh,
Gandhi.
gee.
But there was another question. I forgot what it was. Dang it. How dare you disrespect Clayster, Mr. X, you meanie pants. I love that. Oh,
Yeah.
Mox wants to know what your favorite kind of wings are.
Wings.
Okay, this is gonna sound weird, right? When we were in Niagara, we went to a hotel in Buffalo for like a night, and they had like a little bar at the bottom of the hotel, and we went to go watch like a hockey game, like me, Teep, and Damon, and they had these Greek buffalo wings, right? They were wings grilled with like peppers and stuff on it, and then it had melted feta cheese and like yogurt sauce instead of blue cheese to dip it in, and they were fucking
Yo,
bomb.
feta cheese. Oh man, I'd be home.
Yo,
That sounds so
feta
good.
cheese is the cheese of gods, dude. Like nobody knows.
It is.
Like if you're out there and you're at like your ShopRite or like supermarket, like pick up a thing of feta.
Okay,
Like
so
just do
someone
it.
in the chat just gave me a really good idea, and I want to try it. Said to go to the Ask Reddit subreddit and literally just pull up some random questions, and all of us have to answer them for the last thing we do, basically. Anybody opposed?
No, go for it.
No, I'm not. I'm not opposed at all, guys. Not opposed.
Okay, let's see.
Don't
No,
look at that
okay.
Skype chat.
Where the
at
hell
all.
do I go?
I'm just gonna pull some out of Ask Reddit.
Yeah, I'm on S.
What
Reddit.
are your 3 favorite subreddits? All of us.
Who? Me? The only one I check is
No.
this one.
I guess I'll say mine then.
I'm
CoDCompetitive, obviously, because I literally am never away from the webpage to the point where it almost kills me, I think. But, I mean, you can ask Gomlism. I know life the crap out of the subreddit. Probably House of Cards is the second one, and then How I Met Your Mother was one of my favorites until it ended, obviously. See, what would be my third now, though? Hip-hop heads, probably.
I
I love
think all
hip-hop
of ours
heads.
goes without saying is COD competitive. So I think we can move away from that
I
one.
hate that place.
And then r/WTF and Jennifer Lawrence are two of my favorite ones.
Matt, if you don't use Reddit besides for COD Competitive, there's a page for just about everything that people
Yeah,
subscribe
You're
to.
missing out.
Okay, I got into
I
Reddit.
really
I
like
give
the
you
sports ones, like NBA, NFL, baseball, or like Red
Yeah,
Sox, Patriots,
good.
stuff like
Yes,
that.
Red
I'm
Sox and
becoming you now.
Patriots. I'm a Boston boy through and through, and you already know this slop.
Yeah,
I
those are my
hate you.
favorite subs.
Celtics
Yeah,
all the
I-
way.
I-
I'm sorry if you hate me, Matt, but I love the Celtics.
My favorite sub
You hate just
is
an awful
obviously
person.
COD competitive, and then after that is probably World News and StarCraft.
See, I got into Reddit because Revan was like, "You need to do some Reddit," and I was like, "The hell is that?" Like, he like was like, "You're gonna make your account and like do an AMA," and like I did it, and I was like, "Okay, cool." And then I kept reading them, and I was like, "Wow, these people really don't like me," but I keep reading it anyway. And then I was like, "Oh, whatever. Like, this is cool. Like, I like posting the subreddit. It's fun. It reminds me of, like an old school forum." But now now
Right.
you guys got me in this ass Reddit thing, and I'm on like the 4th page. I'm just like, "What the hell is going on?" Where the accused was sentenced to death.
Okay. What's the most expensive video game you've ever bought?
Okay, I
$60.
bought. I think it was like $200. I bought that Steel Battalion game for Xbox One that came with that huge like mech controller with the joysticks and stuff, and it looked like an airplane pilot in my fucking room. Yeah, that was a darker time in life.
Was that game even good?
No, it was kind of shitty. It was like a shitty version of that Salt controller.
Okay, Gomlism, what's the most expensive video game you ever bought?
It's Call of Duty 4, and the reason why is because I bought it on PS3, I bought it on PC, and I bought it on Xbox 360, and I also had a break once on 360, so I bought the digital version on 360 as well. So I bought that game 4 times, and I don't regret it.
I completely understand that because I've literally bought one, broke it, and then bought another one, and I still don't regret it.
I bought MW2 4 times.
I did it 3
that's
times.
just-
I got
There
pissed
you
and
go.
threw it outside once because I was a quick scoping little a-hole in the middle of Modern Warfare 2. So yeah, the whole reason I started doing it is because my brother did it, and I wanted to compete with him because my brother and I are way too competitive. And I got really angry at someone I was playing with, so I literally just like chucked it out the window. And that's
I
the
think
first
I
one.
literally
The second
just killed
one,
my discs.
my brother decided to turn my Xbox from like right side up to flat in the middle of playing, and it just ate the disc. So I had to buy it a third time. So, yeah, that was $180.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever spent more than $60 on a video game.
You're lame.
Yeah, I can't think of one. I don't know. I just don't.
That or the fact that I bought like the collector's edition for Halo Reach, which I never play now. So that was a really good investment.
Yeah, that was a bad investment.
I still play Modern Warfare 2, but I do not play Halo Reach.
I was really close to getting an Xbox just to play Halo 4. That would have been a really horrible mistake there, according to everyone that played that game.
Yeah. But I mean, stuff goes wrong, I guess.
Shit
Right.
happened.
Okay.
Another question on here is, what is the worst time on Earth to get a nosebleed?
Dude, okay. Most of you guys don't know this. Well, actually, I don't know if the mods would either, but this is really relevant to me. I have something. It's a medical disorder called thrombocytopenia. No one's gonna know what that means. Basically,
The hell is that?
It's like, you know what hemophilia is?
Trombosa penis.
No.
No.
Like really low blood platelets.
Okay.
Okay.
So your blood doesn't stop if you start bleeding. So
I'm just gonna keep saying yeah, but okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So nosebleeds is a big symptom of that. So I used to be like doing the weird, like random stuff in public, and all of a sudden I would just like start bleeding like out of my nose for like a half hour at a time. So I was in the
Luckily, I
middle
don't suffer.
of a date one time actually, and I started bleeding all over the place. And needless to say, there was not a second date on that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think like during your wedding would probably be a bad time to get a nosebleed.
Yeah.
That would probably be a bad time to get one.
Doing your first kiss is like man life.
Yeah, but I mean, I would be scared for you at your wedding with your Nico, whatever the hell thing that like makes your nose bleed. That would scare me.
One of the guys in the Twitch chat just said the worst time to have a nosebleed is while getting a blowjob. That's terrible.
Yeah, that would be.
No, no.
The
Yeah.
worst time to get a nosebleed is if you're swimming with sharks.
That, yeah. I have to say that one's pretty good. What's the strangest
we
thing
done?
that's happened to you while going to or while in the bathroom?
At an airport, I walked into the wrong bathroom once, peed, and then walked.
All right, so
No, given
I
no
actually have a
problem.
pretty good story about this. When I was a kid, I used to go to the bathroom with my mom, like when I was little, like
Yeah.
9, 8, 7. Like I would go into like the stall, and she would go into the other stall, right? So we were at this like really like fancy restaurant, eating with like everyone as a family. And I go in to eat, or go into the bathroom. I go into the stall, and I come out, and it's really quiet in there, right? There's nobody around. I come out, and there's literally a line of women waiting to go to the bathroom. It goes like out the door, around the corner, and down. And I walk out of the stall, and I instantly go red face, and I can't. And I'm like, Mom, Mom, Mom.
I can't imagine
then-
you as young either, because you're like 6'5".
I'm 6'8", but yeah.
6'8", sorry.
Just a little kid walking out of the bathroom stall with a whole bunch of women. Like, what the
Dude,
fuck is this?
I peed in the wrong stall. Like this is like 3 months ago. This isn't even like I was a little. I straight
It's a,
up. Okay, I saw like VM right, and I just like how like sometimes like airports they have like the U-shaped bathrooms. Like there's one thing there, and they're like I just wasn't paying attention. Like I'm good enough. I just didn't give a fuck. Then I just walked in. And I get in the stall and I'm peeing and I get out and I go to use the sink and I look around. I'm like, well, that's not a guy. That's not a guy. Like, they're all smiling and stuff, and I just like washed my hands. I just walked out with my sunglasses on. It was gangster as fuck. It was
God.
troll shit.
Well, this is pretty
Alright.
much the last question. We're about done.
All right. So, any final words from anybody?
I've been recording all of this at the same time, so the VOD will be up on a YouTube that I created, and I'll post it on the subreddit in case anyone missed it in another post about the podcast.
All right.
So,
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks
No problem.
for the
It's
Twitch
been
chat for
fun.
coming in, watching us. Any feedback would be appreciated. You can just go post it in the subreddit that Potato posted, and we'll be sure to read it. And if we do this again, we'll look at that and try to make it better for you guys.
if we're gonna do this next
He's
week.
he's not gonna read it. He's a
I
liar.
will. He's not gonna read it. He doesn't give a crap. But I'm a moderator, so I have to read it.
there you
And then Slop and
shout-outs
Gomblism are also
to-
mods, so they can go.
go.
do whatever.
Shout outs to Astro Gaming for doing giveaways on their sub. That's pretty awesome. And the COD Stats team over at CETV. They're pretty awesome.
Yeah, CETV
Good guys.
actually got an MLG channel today, so good for them. That was
There you
a
go.
big thing.
They can make $90 just like nerds. I'm just
Gomblism, any words?
Nothing. Just make sure you guys all subscribe to r/CoDCompetitive if you haven't already. We're almost at the 10K landmark, and there's also an IRC. If you guys aren't familiar with IRC, it's Internet Relay Chat, and we have a chat room set up where we can talk about anything competitive COD, which we usually
There's a
don't. We
link.
talk about random stuff, so. Just join. A lot of the moderators are there if you ever want to chill, and it's really fun during events. So
That's my 24/7
we'll be there on the X Games.
contact also. If you guys need to contact any of the moderators, I'm literally in there 24/7. If you type my name, it'll ping my phone, so I can get back to you. So literally, if you need anything, just let me know.
So
There you go.
I can
the
go in
link-
there when I figure out what an Nazi is, and I can just keep spamming your name, and it'll just
Okay.
keep ringing your
It'll
phone.
eventually ban you, by the way. If you just telling everybody now, if you're in the Twitch chat and you're thinking of trolling Potato, it does ban you, and also I can ban you if you piss me off. So, but the link to the IRC is in the sidebar. Okay, yeah, we said it at the same time. But
There you go.
What is an
All right.
I'm gonna.
It's like
I'm
a
gonna sit
chat
here
room.
and play
like
around
a
with
click
it.
it though.
for-
All you have to do is pick a username and click connect, and it'll do the rest for you.
That's it.
Oh, and if you guys try to impersonate a pro,
We ban you
we will ban you. So
instantly,
Unless
yeah.
you're Mr. X.
unless you're Mr. X, because we love Mr. X now. He's our best friend.
I'm gonna impersonate somebody.
Are you gonna
I'm
impersonate
just like-
yourself?
I'm just gonna talk like a different person every week.
All right. Well, I mean that's about it. So I mean, watch for the thread on the subreddit. I'll post this up on a YouTube channel. I'm not gonna say what it is yet because I don't remember. But
There you
yeah,
go.
that's about it. So let's. You misspelled potato.
Thanks.
That's
Okay, I
why it
typed
didn't
your
ping me. Okay. Well, I'm gonna shut off the stream now. Bye, guys.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Oh, jinx.
Goodbye.
Bye.